Dan, I will try to record today's episode with a neck brace on.
Uh-oh, what happened?
A neck brace and a chipped tooth and a injured lower lumbar.
What were you splitting wood with an axe and a maul this weekend?
How many lumbars do you have? I got whatever they are. I've heard them both. Yeah.
You had 7 that are compacted into 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get hurt in the wood yard. I had the audacity to drive a vehicle on Indiana highways
Oh my goodness.
this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No fun.
What the heck is going on in Indiana? Jeez. What the heck? Dan, this is the United States of America. And I at times thought that I was driving in some lost town in Kazakhstan or Mongolia or something. I don't know. Do they have roads in Mongolia? But I bet you if they do, they're not as bad as the ones in Indiana. Dan, what the heck?
I don't know, but yeah, it does feel like you're driving on a goat path through the mountains somewhere. It is a rough ride.
I have the ability to exaggerate. Okay.
Slightly, maybe. Yeah.
There is nothing that's going to come out of my mouth about Indiana highways that's an exaggeration. It is the truth, man. Dan, it was like I used to travel all over the United States. Now, this was years ago. I've been on some bad highways. I can remember like Interstate 40, like through the Arizona, California with the intense heat, and the road kind of swells and heaves kind of thing, but
yeah.
I was on Interstate 70 between Columbus driving towards Indianapolis. And once I hit the Indiana line, I don't know. It was, and I'm okay. I guess I'm joking about this, but I'm not joking. It is what the heck is going on?
I don't know, but I know what you mean. I've been, traveling on highways as well, where you'll like hit a bad stretch of maybe a few miles, where it gets a little rough here and there. But the last time I remember going through Indiana, the northern road right out of Chicago, it was border to border. Yeah. Just rough.
Well, that was probably coming to my place or to the Paul Bunyan show.
Yeah, one of those. Yep.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so we moved my daughter to graduate school, and we had to drive through Indiana. And I don't know. I have never in my life seen a highway. And I guess, they got state highways and the federal highway system and stuff. I have never experienced anything like this in my life. The road it should not even allow any traffic on it at all. There was this one section. It reminded me, we were in a parking lot. We up at Ashtabula Mall. It's kind of like a dead mall, but there's still some stores open in it. And there's this one part of the parking lot that it was like a sinkhole that's opening up, and you can like see this hole and you can go look down into it and, you can see Taiwan or something. It's so deep. And there were holes like that on Interstate 70 where like the section had just collapsed and you just drive through it. What the heck?
Yeah. And you hit every one of them. Every hole you hit.
And I'm not talking just a pothole. I mean, just, I was just in shock at, at what we experienced. And so I was so intrigued by how bad this situation was. All I could think of was, there's so many nice people that are from Indiana. They come to the International Firewood Expo And now I feel guilty that they've driven over their highways to get here. I really think, we need to get someone like our good friend, the Timber Cutter Patriot, and his team. I bet you they could get those roads fixed by lunchtime.
Yeah.
Because, so the area of Interstate 70, I mean, it was all tore up too from construction, and they had like lane reductions, and so it was just miles and miles and miles and miles of just backed up cars just creeping along. And you see all of this construction, but I counted a total of 0 people working.
Well, it's the summer. You can't be working on road construction in the summer.
Yeah. This one whole section of Interstate 70 was closed, and they rerouted us through, I think, the city of Richmond. So think of this: interstate travel, Interstate 70, it's a major artery in our
Yep.
country. Semis and everyone is routed through downtown Richmond, Indiana.
Ooh.
It went around this one whole section that's closed. I don't know, because there was flooding that was going on too, and it, I cannot get over how bad it was.
I'm just thinking about this now. I think that's the route I might be taking if I come down to Bunyan, because I like to go down through Bloomington, Illinois, and over. And I think that would be that Interstate 70.
Yeah,
Ooh,
well, stay off of it.
maybe I'll go the other way.
Yeah, or fly or something. Yeah, I was so disturbed by this drive on Indiana highways that when I got to my destination, one, I apologized to my car. Two, I got out my Google phone and I started Googling. And so I typed in rank states in the US, for highways. What states have the best highways? Which states have the worst highways? So the truckers uh, put out a ranking every year of the worst roads in the nation. And who do you want to suspect the worst state that, according to the over the road truck drivers, have picked as having the worst roads in the nation?
I'm going to pick Indiana.
It was Indiana. It was Indiana. And I guess that the voting was so conclusive that Indiana garnered 1/3 of the number one spot from the entire poll. So
Holy
like one
moly.
third of every truck driver voted Indiana as the worst roads in the nation. And I would have to agree. I cannot imagine there being highways. I'm not talking about like some side. I mean, we got
Yeah,
bad roads
right.
everywhere,
An
but
interstate
I'm talking
highway.
about an interstate highway that I cannot imagine there being a worse road in the nation than what I was just on. Terrible. And I was looking at this too from like a business mind. We used to, when I was a multi-unit regional manager, we had stores that were Taj Mahals, and we had other stores that were train wrecks. And the one refrain that we always had when we go into a store that was just tore to pieces, we would look at this store and we would say, the problem is this thing just didn't get like this overnight. You
Yeah.
have tolerated these poor standards for how long now? And that's what I was thinking of these highways in Indiana. They didn't get like that overnight. They've been that way for a while.
Yeah.
And what have you been doing? Gosh, Dan.
I wonder how many businesses that replace suspensions on vehicles or deal with shocks and
Tires and rims
tires.
and
How
yeah,
many businesses of those are book solid?
yeah. I almost broke a tooth driving on that road. That's how bad it was. Yeah, that's how bad it was.
Uh,
Yeah. So I took that one step farther. So I typed in rank the best states in the country for their highways. And there's this one website. I can't even think of it right now. But guess who they picked as having the best condition highways in the United States?
Wisconsin.
No.
Oh, Ohio.
I was shocked to see that they were ranked number 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, who's number one then?
Indiana. They had picked Indiana as having the best highways in the country. And I just
How
sat there
can that
staring
be?
at. I don't know. There might be another planet with another state with named Indiana on it, but it wasn't the one that I had driven through. Dan, that literally had Indiana as the number 1 state for the best roads in the nation.
What?
Indiana. Yes,
No.
it did. It,
So wait,
it did.
the truckers rank Indiana as the worst by
Worst
overwhelming
by
response.
overwhelming the worst. Yeah.
Yeah. And this other
Yeah.
site had it listed as the best.
The best.
Jeez.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So Indiana, that road obviously has a lot of traffic, a lot of truck traffic, but so does Ohio. And when we came home on 70, you know, risking your life on that road, the moment you hit the state line, it was kind of like when Dorothy stepped out of the cabin into Munchkin Land, it went from black and white to color. The roads just became velvet
Oh,
after that. And I have always been critical of Ohio because I think our roads are, they're not that good. But it's tough up in this part of the country. If you look at the map of the country, Ohio's like almost every major interstate goes through Ohio. It's like a funnel, and a lot of truck traffic, and then the weather and the challenges of that, and the snow plows, which the
yep.
road heaves a little bit and the snowplow hits it and rips out a chunk, and then it freezes and thaws and freezes and thaws. But what I experienced in Indiana, that didn't happen overnight. They have tolerated that for a while. And so
Yeah.
they got this massive rebuild going on, but there was no one working. There was nothing going on.
And what standards are they using to rebuild? Because if they're just
Well,
meeting current standards, that's obviously probably not good enough.
that is the $10,000 question. By what criteria are you
Yeah,
saying? Could it be maybe their budget and saving money, because they're obviously not spending money to maintain their roads. So if you look at it maybe that is how they are looking so great, because they don't spend money to maintain their highways.
but don't you pay tolls in Indiana? I,
Up
I thought.
on 90 between Ohio and Chicago, I think you do. Ohio's a
Yeah.
turnpike. I don't know if Indiana is. I haven't been that way in a while. I can't remember.
Yeah. Because that's the one I remember being really rough. So yeah, I don't
Uh-huh.
know.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call this rough. I would call this pockmarked. Yeah. So here's how I look at things. Okay. I mean, we all complain we don't want to pay taxes. We're taxed too much and stuff. But when it reminds me of my one friend. Okay, so his mother passed away. His dad lived in the house that he grew up in. And so the dad, was just doing his own thing, but the dad was living comfortably, but he wouldn't spend money to upkeep the house. I think if you have an asset, you got to take care of it, and it takes money. You got to have a plan. You got to do it. It's got to be
Absolutely.
done.
Yep.
If you don't take care of this asset, it becomes like the Indiana highways. So this guy, he wouldn't. The house needed a roof, wouldn't do it. It needed updated. He wouldn't do it. It needed landscape, wouldn't do it. And it just got so bad that the house is a train wreck. And it got to the point where my friend says, I don't want it. It's not an asset anymore. It's a burden. It's gotten so bad from him keeping all of his money in the bank and not putting it into the house that the house is just beyond repair.
Yep.
And I wonder at times if certain states or politicians or whatever has this this mentality of not spending money, and saving this and saving that. And I don't know. I mean, I like tax reduction, but I also like to not break a tooth driving down a major US interstate.
Maybe all the decision makers are looking at that second poll that you referenced where they're like, look at this. Indiana has the best highways in the country. We don't need to spend any money on them.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh. There was, as you got closer to Indy, there were newer sections of road, concrete, not black asphalt. But then there would still be a section that had collapsed, and bam, just out of nowhere. Hit it. Oh, boy. Yeah. So my trip to Indiana was exciting, but it was also depressing because I was just upset by the roads because I like Indiana. I like the people that are from there. And I just hate to see, I don't
Yeah.
know. I love my country and I love my interstate highway system. And I hated to experience that. It was depressing.
Well, it's good you made it back in one piece and just a little banged up. You'll have to work those kinks out in the wood yard. That's all. That's
Yeah.
all there is to it.
Hmm. Well, I got my kinks worked out this morning. I got swarmed by hornets.
Oh,
So
nice.
I got my ankle, my calf, and my hand,
Ooh,
and I'm kind of tingly and swollen right now.
jeez.
Yeah.
I ran into a little ground hornet's nest as well and got stung just once. But and I also discovered a wasp nest up in the top of the carport. But I sprayed that thing early, and now they're all gone.
Yeah. My spray of choice is carb cleaner from like AutoZone or
Yep,
O'Reilly's. It's cheaper, it works great, and you use that little red stick, and it shoots pretty good too.
and it's effective.
Yeah, yeah. I dealt with the bees this morning, and oh, jeez, I think I get stung a lot, and I think I'm starting to become allergic because the bite site gets weird looking and swollen. I notice
That's
I
what.
like
Yeah,
it'll swell so bad I'll walk around limping, and I never got stung on the leg that time. That's how bad it hurts.
or like it'll go away a little bit, but then like a few days later, it comes back and itches again and stings again. Yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
kind of weird.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. You've been stung before. How many times in your life would you say you've been stung by a bee?
Oh, not very many.
But
Uh,
enough, right?
enough. Yeah.
Why is it that when you start getting stung, it takes about 15 seconds for you to realize that you're getting stung?
I don't know.
That was that was me today. I was like, "What the heck? Why is my ankle hurting? Why is my calf hurting? Why is my hand on fire? Oh, shoot, I'm being swarmed by bees."
I'm getting nailed by the
Uh,
bees.
yeah. It took me a while to figure out what was going on.
Well, that could be because you were still a little discombobulated from your ride back. You're still,
Yeah.
you're getting your senses about you still.
Mhm. When you get into Ohio from Indiana, at least Interstate 70 is really nice. We took the turnpike earlier in the year, and Ohio, it was under heavy construction. So it was like it's the Ohio Turnpike's 3 lanes both directions, and it was down to like 2 lanes in most spots because they're tearing the road apart and
Yeah.
redoing stuff, I guess. Yeah.
Ugh.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but how about that? It wasn't like Indiana was ranked 15th and 8 on both polls. one was one was dead last and the other one was number 1.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That reminds me of my daughter's favorite author is Ernest Hemingway. I can't stand his books, but anyhow, the one famous quote in his title, "For whom the bell tolls."
Ooh.
When you see a statistic or when someone says the economy's doing great or the economy's doing terrible, I think it pays to be critical of these kind of comments. And you should always ask yourself the question, for whom the bell tolls? When someone says that the economy stinks, for who, Because usually when the economy stinks, it's good for someone, but bad
Yeah.
for the others. Yeah.
Or when someone says they sell premium world class firewood. How do you know one
Uh-huh.
person's premium is another person's trash?
Yeah. I just had comments on my recent video about my wood, it's split too small and so wasting my time.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
kind of, I mean, if you think about like online reviews or even word of mouth, I mean, it's one person could say you have the best firewood, and the next person could say you have the worst firewood.
Yeah. That's
Just
true.
like the highways. Yeah. What
Well,
can you
if
do?
someone were to say that Indiana has the best highways in the nation, I would like to know what they're drinking. Because I could become a millionaire overnight
Or
with that stuff.
you have to ask them, have you driven anywhere besides Indiana?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It had the worst roads in the nation. It was Indiana and California and Oregon and Louisiana, I think, were on the list. And then the best roads was Minnesota. Do they have good roads up there, Dan? With all that
Uh,
snow and snow plows?
yeah. I mean, they're not bad. They're always busy.
Yeah. It was Minnesota. Well, I mean, Indiana and Ohio, for crying out loud, and Florida. But Florida's got it easy. They don't have any snow down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our main highways here just get pounded by trucking traffic.
Uh-huh.
The big distribution centers, like there's in a town about 20 miles from me, they have a Walmart has a big distribution center, and hundreds and hundreds of trucks every day pounding the pavement. The roads just get beat up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the snow plows,
That's another thing.
and that salt, that brine solution they put on the roads, and it gets in the cracks and freezes. And
Yeah.
yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. So one of the trucks not going up and down the road lately have been log trucks. My yard's getting thin. I'm starting to worry about my supply again. And I'm starting to
Uh-oh.
feel my thin spring that I had when I didn't have any logs to process except oak, which gets me nowhere. And I'm feeling it now because I look at my supply and I'm not where I need to be.
And how is your demand? Is your demand falling at all with
No, the demand's constant and consistent. And I'm worried. I think I'm going to have to govern my sales this fall, and I just can't go at it like last year. Last year when the phone would ring, we're selling something, we're going. This year I think I might so like I try to focus on only quarter core deliveries, but I still have a number that I will deliver halves to. But I think I'm going to put the kibosh on anything other than a quarter or a sixth of a cord this year.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to have to govern my sales. I can't run out because of the restaurants,
Yep. You
Yeah,
got to
and
keep the
selling
supply
firewood is
high.
easy. Yeah,
Yeah.
selling firewood is easy, so I can't make it that easy. And then I think I'm also going to have to raise my prices. So I've been getting some crazy quotes for log trucks.
Oh,
Yeah,
diesel.
over $1,000 for them now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I just noticed
Jeez.
today it was 525 here for
Yeah.
diesel.
Crazy.
Whew.
Yeah, the gas in Indiana was about 80 cents a gallon cheaper than Ohio. We were paying $4.49 a gallon, and then I was paying $3.59 in Indiana. Gas is cheaper there.
Phew. Well,
Yeah.
that's the trade-off. Cheap gas, bad roads, I guess.
Yeah. Well, my wife's Volkswagen gets 55 miles to the gallon, so there you go.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's for real too. Why can't every car get that much per gallon?
Good question.
Yeah.
I
My
don't know.
daughter had a Ford Focus, the smaller car. It could get in the 30s, but this Volkswagen easily gets 50.
Wow.
Four cylinder.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of nice with working from home. I usually have to fill up my truck once a month, maybe. But I can remember back when I lived up in uh, Rogers, Minnesota, and I was driving to St. Cloud. I mean, I was filling up like 2 times a week. I
Oh
can't
gosh.
imagine now how much. Whew,
Yeah.
be a big chunk of
My
the paycheck.
my four-wheel drive, I've had it since 2016. I've only had a full tank on that truck one time since I've owned it. It has a 35-gallon gas tank on it.
Oh man,
And the only time I ever had it filled was when the economy shut down and gas was 99 cents a gallon. I felt like I got a raise.
yeah, fill her
Uh-huh.
up.
Yeah, not now. Mm-mm.
That is the one thing I always find funny when like people will, they brag about like, well, if I go here and I use my something, I get 3 cents a gallon discount. It's like, okay, if you put in 20 gallons, it's 60 cents.
Yeah, right.
That's not really that big of a deal.
Uh-huh. I think of that when I fill up because here in town, our gas is kind of higher than just down the road. But then you think, gosh, am I going to drive 5 miles down, 5 miles back into traffic,
Yep.
to save $1.50, or I could just get it here. I want to be a good consumer, but I also got to be realistic sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, at least you don't have to drive down a goat path
Oh,
road if you were to go get gas.
who who would have thunk it? I was just shocked.
Yep.
Dan, you cannot believe it until you drive on it yourself.
Oh, I believe it. Yes.
Yeah.
I had a when we went through, when was it? 2 years ago, whenever it was. When we left Chicago in the morning, I had some iced coffee, and by the time I got through Indiana, I had cheese,
Yeah.
butter. It churned right into butter.
Uh-huh. That Truckers magazine said that the Interstate 70 is worse on the Illinois side than on the Ohio side. And I was like, are you serious?
Woo!
Can it get worse than this? Yeah.
I don't know. All right, I'm gonna have to maybe think about this now. How I'm gonna get to Bunyan this year, which is about a month and a half away. Gosh,
Yeah,
can
we're
you
getting
believe that?
close. I know. It's just like, where did the summer go?
Yeah,
And it's been a hot, muggy summer, and now we've had like 3 weeks of rain and storms. So it's just been a weird summer. And then the next thing you know, it's going to be the Paul Bunyan show, which I almost fainted at last year because it was so hot, if you recall.
yeah.
That
Well,
was
and,
an
and
oven.
actually, coming up this coming weekend is Boonville.
Boonville, New York.
Yep.
Yeah, they've had rain up there too. Indiana was all flooded. They had flooding everywhere. Just huge storms had come through. And I'm wondering, because that kind of gets muddy up there, doesn't it? Didn't you go
And
there one year and it was pretty muddy? You had to throw your boots
the
away?
year I went to Boonville, yes, it rained and rained and rained.
Uh-huh.
It was bad.
Yeah.
And there were
Well,
people on my live stream. People were asking. They thought I was going to Boonville, but I will not be in Boonville. Are you going to any shows between now and Bunyan?
no, no one's invited me.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, what the heck?
No one's invited me. No, I'm not going to go. I am, we had our hands full with this move, because this is her first time out on her own. She had no furniture, so we had to go shopping all summer long. We couldn't even get into her own house because all of her stuff packed everywhere, and then to get her moved and stuff. And then when you get down there, you think, oh, shoot, we didn't get this, we didn't get that.
Yep.
Yeah, it was, it's exciting. It's tough watching your kids grow old and move away and stuff, but that's the way things go,
Yep.
hmm
It happens. Now
Well, as
you're
long as she gets back for the International Firewood Expo next year, because she is my complaint department.
That's all that matters. That's
Yeah,
right.
if you have a complaint, you have to deal with her.
No one had any complaints.
Yeah. My complaint department was Donald Scheib, but he wasn't there for the first day, so I turned it over to my daughter, and all the complaining stopped.
Everything, yeah. No one had a complaint.
Yeah, they weren't ready for her. Yeah. Yeah, Dan. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna go change out my ice pack here and ice down this trapezius muscle that I strained trying to keep my head straight, driving down a straight highway. That highway is so straight. Like on a clear day, you can see the Pacific Ocean on it.
Yeah.
But I guess they didn't notice that it had just fallen apart and they needed to repair it. But I'm glad
Yeah.
that they've gotten started. Now they just need to get some workers out there to do it.
Get going. Hopefully they get it fixed up before October when I'm heading through.
I think that this is going to be a multi-year endeavor. I think by the time they get it repaired, it will be time to fix it again.
Start on the other side of the state.
Right. I will not complain about the roads in Ohio anymore. I've learned my lesson. I keep my mouth shut.
Just the weather.
Yeah,
not the roads, just the weather.
Uh-huh. We'll always have the weather to complain about, Dan.
There you go. All right. Yeah. Well, with that, are you still able to, with your sore muscles, strike up the band?
Yeah, hold on here. Let me get my shoulder in position to pump my fist and say, strike up the band.
Boom! Strike up the band, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Woodhounds on your favorite streaming platform.
Yes, and please consider giving us a 5-star review to help us with the algorithms. And Dan, let's tell everyone out there to be careful
driving in Indiana.
And make sure you wear a mouth guard while
driving in Indiana.
Yeah. And then when you reach your destination and get the new set of rims installed on your car, you can have
a great day.